Cup Racing on Fox, presented by Michelin, is brought to you by McDonald's and by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running.
Well, we've gone 60 laps. Dale Earnhardt Jr., your leader at Darlington Raceway. Welcome back. NASCAR Winston Cup Series on Fox, presented by Michelin. And if you've just joined us, you've missed a lot. We've had more action than an episode of The Shield. Let's take a look back and show you Jerry Nadeau as we watch the live action with Junior leading. This is Nadeau, who was second at the time, spinning on the track. And then Matt Kenseth having some problems here with Jamie McMurray.
Yeah, right there they were trying to basically get back to the caution, and Jamie McMurray got into Matt Kenseth.
And then you see Kenseth. This is Italian to, hey, what are you doing? What's going on here to the crew of McMurray? And then Jack Sprague has problems on his own.
Yeah, green racetrack early on. He had a problem coming off the turn 4 right there. Randy goes. He continued also.
Sterling Marlin and Jimmy Johnson. Looked like Sterling, who won this race last year, had some tire problems causing a 7-car wreck.
Yeah, they started in turn 4 right off before they got together. Sterling got down there in 1 and 2, wound up wrecking, collecting 6 other cars in this wreck. I mean, it's been really, really interesting so far.
The Atlanta winner, Bobby Labonte, having problems there. And then the Roush engine story, Jeff Burton, who had moved his way from back of the pack out of the race with engine problems. And currently, though, Mark Martin and Kurt Busch are running 3rd and 4th, chasing Dale Earnhardt Jr. back to live action. So at least some of the Roush engines are holding up so far. And there is Jeff Burton with the cat in the hat.
Yeah, he's sitting right there with him, and I'm sure he's not a very happy camper right now. Neither one of them. So it'll be interesting to see how the day plays out for the rest of the Roush cars.
We had 4 cautions within the first 33 laps here, Jeff. And you talked about driving with patience and people hitting the wall, the most famous wall this side of China. Have the drivers settled down a little bit here?
It looks like they're starting to get into a routine here. This is one of those places you got to develop a rhythm early on. If not, it'll get you in trouble early.
And Mark Martin making a move now as well, up to 3rd currently.
Well, Mark really likes this racetrack there. He's closing down right now on Jerry Nadeau, and don't be surprised if Mark's not up there contending for the win before the end of the day.
All right, let's go back upstairs, rejoin Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry McReynolds.
Thanks, Chris. The only cars officially out of the race, Jeff Burton due to engine failure, and Todd Bodine, damage sustained in the lap 23 crash. Big movers. Dave Blaney has now joined the top 10, and Mark Martin now goes after Jerry Nadeau and moves his Ford into 2nd place.
It's such a frustrating place to race. Tony has been working, trying to get around the 7 car here, and he can't make the pass, and look what it's done behind him. Cars bottled up everywhere. I know that's Mark Martin going there.
But I'm going to tell you, guys, we talked about this kid just a few laps ago, Casey Mears, in this 41 car right here. He drove by Tony Stewart and Jimmy Spencer under green flag racing just a few laps ago.
Nice and smooth. Take care of your tires. Good, buddy. Nice, smooth. Hit all your marks. Race the racetrack. You're doing good, man. These guys are backing up to you.
Great advice from his spotter and from his crew chief, Jimmy Elledge. Race the racetrack. Be patient. Take care of your tires. Things you have to do, Darrell, at this racetrack every single corner, every single lap.
Well, he's in really good shape. He's gotten through the traffic. He's kind of in a zone all by himself, and that's what you want here is a zone. You want to be all by yourself, nobody in front of you, nobody behind you. That way, if anything happens, you got time to react to it.
Tony Stewart backing up there. You saw Dave Blaney go by, and outside pole sitter Ryan Newman is backing up. Steve?
Yeah, Mike, he's dropped all the way down to 28 from the very start of this race. He's talked about how tight his race car is, describing it now as unbelievably tight. He says the front end is skating, and at one point he said the front end, the tires were chattering.
Yeah, Steve, once again, he's in trouble right there with Ward Burton in the 22 car.
Turn 1.
Coming to your outside.
Caution is out.
That group of cars right there has just kind of been all just, Newman's been holding some of them up, and they've been all around him.
Come on, that's Earnhardt.
Now what's happening?
I'll let you come out.
They're trying to...
Hey, guys, he's coming now.
They're trying to stay on the lead lap.
Come on, Ryan.
It's Buddy Baker spotting for him.
Larry Foyt's going to get his lap back. Looks like along with Brett Bodine and Kevin Harvick trying to get their lap back. Ward's just having a tough time even getting up to speed, though, it looks like, to stay in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
He's going to make it around as Earnhardt brings the field slowly to the caution flag. Burton stays on the lead lap. Let's see what happened here in turn 1.
Ward just goes in down on the apron, and you can't go into that corner beside of someone. Something's got to give before you get there. See, Ward was all the way down on the apron. What Ward's hoping was that Ryan would let off a little early and give Ward the room to slide up in front of him. If a guy doesn't, you just about wreck every time going in there like that.
Remember what Dick Berggren said in the beginning. They told him at the NASCAR meeting this morning, you got to give. You can't take.
Normally normally you know you can't race somebody into that corner. The guy on the outside is the guy that has to lift.
From Kenny Wallace's point of view, contact and the spin. Picture open. You mentioned Buddy Baker as Ryan Newman's spotter. Baker won the Southern 500 here in 1970 and won this spring race a year later. So good. A lot of experience up there on the roof for Ryan Newman.
Yeah, he's been kind of Ryan's coach, and he's done a very good job with Ryan.
Pit road will be very, very busy. I believe the only car that stayed out on the racetrack was the pace car.
But he might have wanted to tell Ryan that to let Ward go on right there.
Kurt Busch comes to a stop in his pit area. They are going to tighten it up a little bit, put a little round wedge in the left rear corner of the car. Other than that, the car has been good to Steve Burns.
No changes for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Phil Dry, the front tire changer. They call him the Heat, getting the job done. No adjustments on the 8. The 6 car, Mark Martin, makes an air pressure adjustment. Let's go to Matt.
An air pressure adjustment for Jerry Nadeau. No forward grip off the corner. They're also trying to pull a tear off the windshield with a hook. I don't know if they got it. Did not look like it. He also made a track bar adjustment.
We're working the 5th caution flag of the day in the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400 at famed Darlington Raceway, which has seen 5 different leaders: Ryan Newman, Jimmy Spencer, pole sitter Elliott Sadler, Dale Jarrett, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now that equals or surpasses the number of cautions in 40 of the nearly 100 races they've had at this racetrack. The record for today's race, 15 caution flags, and the way they're running, it could be in jeopardy.
I think it is, Mike.
Jeannie?
Tony Stewart has said, hey, if we have the time to make sure this toe is squared off and get it right, I can get this car back to the front. And that is exactly what they're going to do. Tony made his first stop through the pits. They worked on that right fender, pulled it out, and here he comes again and going to check the toe in. Tony's already noticed improvement in the car in just the 1 lap that he made. Matt?
Jeannie had a conversation this morning with Chad Knaus, Jimmy Johnson's crew chief. We were talking about at Atlanta, where the NASCAR officials, normally about halfway, will tell teams they're allowed an extra man over the wall to service the windshield. Well, it's early in the race. Jerry Nadeau had a bad windshield. They're going to pull the tear off. NASCAR's not allowed teams to have the extra man, so they had a big hook with a tie wrap around the windshield tear off to try to yank it off. They couldn't get it. Nadeau still has a very dirty windshield and is not happy.
I mean, this place is terrible on windshields. Sandblast, oil, everything else. You have to get those tear-off offs.
Our Fox Sports crew cam today is being worn by Ohio native Steve Williams. He's the catch can man for Ricky Cravens. Tide Pontiac, the catch can catches the overflow from refueling off the vent.
He's doing a whole bunch of jobs there.
Well, the catch can man has become one of the busiest men on the pit stop. He puts the wedge wrench in. He holds the second can. He's got the catch can in there. A lot of things going on in that position right there.
And that catch can serves 2 purposes: catching the excess fuel out, the overflow. Also, there's a valve in there he has to open before that car will take the fuel that the gas man's dumping in.
70 laps. Robbie Gordon, the leader, he did not pit under this caution. So he's the race leader. Then Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads the race off pit road with Mark Martin and Jerry Nadeau. You're watching NASCAR Winston Cup Racing on Fox, presented by Michelin.
So you want the best seat in the house.